Welcome to the 8th episode of the Reality Transurfing Fundamentals series. Today, we explore a principle that quietly shapes the course of your life, often without your awareness: importance. By the end of this video, you'll see why the hidden force of importance is at the root of most problems, and how learning to reduce both inner and outer importance can unlock a smoother, more harmonious reality. Let's begin with a simple observation. Everything in nature seeks balance. When something is out of balance, forces arise to restore equilibrium. This is true for physical systems, and it's equally true for the energetic world of our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Think about a pendulum swinging. When you push it far to one side, it doesn't stay there. It swings back with equal force in the opposite direction. The same principle governs the invisible energy fields that surround us. When we create energetic imbalances through our thoughts and emotions, the universe responds with corrective forces that often work against our desires. In transurfing, importance is the invisible weight you place on people, situations, objects, or even yourself. It's the voice that says, "This is crucial. I must have this. I can't live without it. If I lose this, I'll be devastated." The more importance you assign, the more you distort the energy field around you, creating what Vadim Zeland calls excess potential. And wherever excess potential appears, balancing forces are soon to follow. Imagine importance as an energetic charge you attach to things. Like static electricity, building up before a shock, importance accumulates until it must be discharged. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, acts as the grounding force, neutralizing the excess potential you've created. Unfortunately, this neutralization often manifests in ways that seem to work directly against your intentions. There are two main kinds of importance: inner importance and outer importance. Inner importance is about you. It's when you see yourself as special, unique, or, on the flip side, flawed, inferior, or unworthy. It's the belief that you must prove yourself, justify your worth, or stand out at all costs. You might think, "I have to be the best," or "if I fail, it means I'm not good enough." This creates tension, anxiety, and a constant battle with yourself. Inner importance manifests in countless ways. Perhaps you feel the need to always be right in conversations, to have the last word. Maybe you constantly seek validation from others, fishing for compliments or reassurance. Or you might be perpetually dissatisfied with yourself, always finding flaws and shortcomings. Whether inflated or deflated, inner importance creates a distortion in your energy field that attracts experiences to balance it out. When you inflate your inner importance, thinking you're superior to others, life has a way of humbling you. You might face unexpected failures, embarrassments, or encounters with people who challenge your self-image. Conversely, when you deflate your inner importance, believing you're worthless or inadequate, you attract situations that reinforce these beliefs: missed opportunities, rejections, or being overlooked when you deserve recognition. Outer importance is about the world outside you. It's when you place someone or something on a pedestal: an opportunity, a relationship, a job, a goal. You might think, "If I don't get this, my life is ruined," or "this person is everything to me." Outer importance can also show up as fear. Fear of losing something, fear of being judged, fear of missing out. Consider how often we assign massive importance to external things. A promotion becomes not just a career advancement, but the key to all happiness. A romantic partner becomes not just someone we love, but our entire reason for living. A material possession becomes not just something we enjoy, but a symbol of our success and worth. Each time we elevate something to such heights, we create an energetic imbalance that must be corrected. Both forms of importance create energetic imbalances. The universe, like nature, doesn't tolerate imbalance for long. The more importance you generate, the stronger the balancing forces that arise to neutralize it. And here's the paradox. These forces often act in ways that seem to sabotage your goals, relationships, or happiness. This isn't punishment or karma in the traditional sense. It's simply the universe maintaining equilibrium, like water finding its level or air pressure equalizing. The universe doesn't care about your personal attachments or desires. It simply responds to energetic imbalances with corrective measures. Have you ever noticed that when you desperately want something, it seems to slip further away? Or when you're terrified of losing something, Circumstances conspire to make your fears come true. That's the law of importance at work. The more you cling, the more the world seems to resist. This resistance isn't personal. The universe isn't trying to teach you a lesson or test your resolve. It's simply responding to the excess potential you've created. Like trying to hold water in your clenched fist. The tighter you squeeze, the more it escapes through your fingers. Let's look at some everyday examples. Imagine you're going for a job interview, and you decide it's your dream job, absolutely essential for your happiness and future. You become nervous, overthink every answer, and try too hard to impress. The interviewer senses your anxiety and neediness. As a result, you don't come across as your best self. The job goes to someone else, perhaps someone who was relaxed, confident, and didn't place so much importance on the outcome. Now, let's examine this scenario more deeply. Your excessive importance didn't just affect your performance, it created an entire chain of energetic events. Your nervousness affected your body language, making you appear less confident. Your overthinking caused you to give rehearsed, inauthentic answers. Your neediness created an energetic push that the interviewer unconsciously felt and pulled away from. The person who got the job likely approached it with a balanced attitude, interested, but not desperate, prepared, but not obsessed. Or consider relationships. If you put your partner on a pedestal, believing they're your only source of happiness, you may become clingy, jealous, or overly accommodating. The relationship becomes strained under the weight of your expectations. The more importance you give, the more likely things are to unravel. In relationships, importance often creates self-fulfilling prophecies. When you fear losing someone, you behave in ways that push them away. You might become controlling, constantly seeking reassurance, or sacrificing your own identity to please them. Your partner feels the pressure of being responsible for your happiness, a burden no one can truly bear. The relationship that once flowed naturally becomes forced and uncomfortable. Conversely, some people create importance by being overly independent, acting as if they don't need their partner at all. This is just inner importance in disguise, the need to appear strong and self-sufficient. Both extremes create imbalance and attract corrective forces. Even with personal goals, importance can be a trap. If you decide, I must lose this weight or I'll never be happy, you create stress and pressure. Each setback feels catastrophic, and the journey becomes a struggle rather than a process of growth. The weight loss example perfectly illustrates how importance sabotages our efforts. When losing weight becomes critically important, every meal becomes a test, every workout a measure of your worth. You might swing between extreme restriction and guilt-driven binges. The stress hormones released by this constant pressure can actually make weight loss more difficult. Meanwhile, someone who approaches fitness with a relaxed, balanced attitude often sees better results with less effort. This principle extends to all areas of self-improvement. Whether learning a new skill, building a business, or developing spiritually, excessive importance creates resistance. The student who must become enlightened remains stuck in seeking. The entrepreneur who must succeed at all costs makes desperate decisions that lead to failure. The artist who must create a masterpiece produces forced, uninspired work. So how do you reduce importance? The answer isn't to stop caring or to become indifferent. It's about shifting your perspective and loosening your grip. Here are some practical steps. First, recognize when you're creating importance. Notice the thoughts and feelings that say, this is everything. I can't fail. I must have this. Awareness is the first step to dissolving excess potential. Pay attention to your body. Importance often manifests as physical tension. Notice when your shoulders rise, your jaw clenches, or your breathing becomes shallow. These are signs that you're attaching excessive importance to something. Also watch for extreme language in your thoughts. Always, never, must, can't. These absolutes are red flags for importance. Develop the habit of checking in with yourself throughout the day. Ask, what am I making too important right now? Sometimes just asking the question is enough to release the excess charge you've built up. Second, remind yourself that nothing is truly irreplaceable or essential. Life is abundant. Opportunities, relationships, and resources are not as scarce as your mind may believe. If one door closes, another will open. If you lose something, something else will take its place. This isn't about becoming careless or nihilistic. It's about recognizing the fundamental abundance of life. Throughout history, humans have lost everything: homes, fortunes, loved ones, and still found ways to rebuild, to love again, to discover new meaning. Your current situation, no matter how important it seems, is just one configuration of infinite possibilities. Practice expanding your perspective. When something feels crucially important, zoom out mentally. How will this matter in a year? In 10 years? From your deathbed? This isn't to minimize your current experience, but to place it in proper context. Third, practice gratitude and presence. Instead of obsessing about outcomes, focus on what you have right now. Appreciate the journey, the process, and the lessons along the way. When you're present and grateful, you naturally reduce the pressure on any single outcome. Gratitude is the antidote to importance. When you're genuinely grateful for what you have, you're less desperate for what you lack. This doesn't mean settling or giving up on growth. It means building from a foundation of appreciation rather than desperation. Develop a daily gratitude practice. Each morning or evening, list things you're grateful for. Include small things: the taste of your coffee, a kind word from a stranger, the feeling of sun on your skin. This trains your mind to notice abundance rather than scarcity. Fourth, embrace the possibility of different outcomes. Tell yourself, I would love for this to happen, but if it doesn't, I'll still be okay. Life will bring me something just as good or better. This attitude opens you to the flow of alternatives and allows the universe to work in your favor. This is perhaps the most powerful shift you can make. When you genuinely accept multiple outcomes, you release the stranglehold of importance. You move from a position of need to one of preference. I prefer this outcome, but I'm open to others, carries a completely different energy than I must have this exact outcome. Practice visualizing different scenarios, including ones where things don't go as planned, and finding the potential benefits in each. Maybe not getting that job leads you to a better opportunity. Maybe that relationship ending frees you to meet someone more compatible. Train your mind to see possibilities rather than disasters. Fifth, release the need to prove yourself. You don't need to justify your worth to anyone, not even yourself. You are enough, just as you are. When you stop trying to stand out or be special, you actually become more authentic and attractive to others. The need to prove ourselves comes from deep-seated beliefs about our inadequacy. We think we must earn love, respect, or success through constant demonstration of our value. But this creates a perpetual state of importance. Every interaction becomes a test, every achievement a temporary reprieve from unworthiness. Consider that you were born worthy. A baby doesn't need to prove its value, it simply is, and that's enough. Somewhere along the way, you learned that you needed to earn your place in the world. Challenge this belief. Practice being ordinary, making mistakes, not having all the answers. Notice that the world doesn't end when you're not perfect. Sixth, avoid comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a major source of inner importance and outer importance. When you compare, you either inflate your own value or diminish it. Both create imbalance. Instead, focus on your unique path and celebrate the successes of others as proof that abundance is possible for everyone. Comparison is importance in disguise. When you compare yourself favorably, you create inner importance. I'm better than them. When you compare unfavorably, you still create importance. I should be like them. Both positions take you out of your natural flow and into a state of energetic imbalance. Remember that you only see the highlight reel of others' lives, not their full reality. That successful person you envy has struggles you know nothing about. That person you feel superior to has strengths you haven't recognized. Everyone is on their own unique journey, incomparable to yours. When you catch yourself comparing, shift to curiosity and inspiration instead. How interesting that they achieved that. What can I learn? Or I'm happy for their success. It shows what's possible. This transforms comparison from a source of importance to a tool for growth. Seventh, let go of the outcome. Take inspired action, do your best, and then release your attachment to how things turn out. Trust that the universe is always working for your highest good, even if you can't see the full picture in the moment. This might be the most challenging aspect of reducing importance, especially in a culture that emphasizes control and achievement. We're taught to set goals, make plans, and persist until we succeed. While action is important, attachment to specific outcomes creates excess potential. Think of it like planting a garden. You prepare the soil, plant the seeds, water them, and ensure they get sunlight. But you can't make them grow by pulling on the shoots or standing over them anxiously. Growth happens in its own time, in its own way. Your job is to create the right conditions and then trust the process. Practice what Vadim Zeland calls coordinated action, acting with intention but without attachment. Do what feels right in each moment. Respond to the signals life gives you, but hold your plans lightly. Be willing to adjust, to flow with changing circumstances, to recognize when the universe is guiding you in a different direction. Remember, reducing importance is not about giving up on your dreams or settling for less. It's about creating space for your dreams to manifest naturally, without the resistance and struggle that importance brings. When you hold your desires lightly, you allow the flow of life to support you. This is a crucial distinction. Reducing importance doesn't mean becoming passive or giving up on what matters to you. It means pursuing your dreams from a place of joy and inspiration rather than desperation and fear. It means taking action because it feels right, not because you're terrified of the alternative. When you reduce importance, you actually become more effective. Without the burden of excessive pressure, your natural creativity flows. Without the fear of failure, you take inspired risks. Without the need to prove yourself, you connect authentically with others. Paradoxically, by caring less about the outcome, you often achieve better outcomes. In transurfing, this is called going with the flow of variance. When you drop importance, you align yourself with the natural current of life. Obstacles dissolve, opportunities appear, and you find yourself moving effortlessly toward your goals. The flow of variance is like a river carrying you toward your desires. When you create importance, it's like trying to swim upstream or building dams to control the water. When you release importance, you work with the current, using its power to propel you forward. You still steer, you still make choices and take action, but you do so in harmony with the flow rather than against it. This state of flow is characterized by synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem to guide you forward. When you're in flow, the right people appear at the right time, opportunities present themselves naturally, and obstacles resolve themselves with surprising ease. This isn't magic. It's simply what happens when you stop creating energetic resistance through importance. Let's explore some additional scenarios where importance commonly arises and how to address them. Financial importance is a major source of stress for many. When money becomes overly important, every expense feels threatening. Every investment carries massive weight. This creates a scarcity mindset that actually repels abundance. Practice treating money as energy that flows, sometimes toward you, sometimes away, but always in circulation. Take practical action to improve your finances, but release the death grip of importance. Health importance can turn wellness into an obsession. While taking care of your body is wise, making perfect health critically important creates stress that undermines well-being. Notice if you've become rigid about diet, exercise, or health practices. Are you acting from self-care or from fear? Balance is key. Take reasonable care of yourself while accepting that bodies age, get sick sometimes, and are ultimately temporary vehicles for your consciousness. Social importance shows up as excessive concern about others' opinions. You might craft your image carefully, always saying the right thing, never showing weakness. This is exhausting and ultimately futile. You can't control how others perceive you. Practice being more authentic, sharing your real thoughts and feelings. You'll be surprised how refreshing others find genuine humanity compared to polished perfection. Spiritual importance is particularly tricky. The desire for enlightenment, awakening, or spiritual achievement can become another form of importance. You might judge yourself for not meditating enough, not being conscious enough, not growing fast enough. Remember that true spiritual development happens naturally when you release the importance of spiritual development. Be gentle with yourself on this journey. Time importance creates constant urgency. Everything must happen now or at least soon. This rush creates stress and actually slows down manifestation. Practice patience. Trust that everything happens at the perfect time, even if it's not your preferred timeline. Often, what seems like a delay is actually perfect timing you can't yet perceive. Now let's look at some practical exercises for reducing importance in daily life. The importance check-in. Several times throughout your day, pause and ask yourself, what am I making important right now? Just notice, without judgment. Often, awareness alone begins to dissolve the excess charge. The zoom-out technique. When something feels overwhelmingly important, imagine zooming out like a camera pulling back. See yourself from above, then your building, your city, your country, the Earth, the solar system. From this cosmic perspective, how important is your current concern? This isn't to minimize your experience, but to put it in context. The multiple streams practice. Whatever you're making important, imagine multiple ways it could work out well. If you're focused on one job, research 5 others that excite you. If you're attached to one person, appreciate the many people who care about you. This abundance mindset naturally reduces importance. The so what exercise. When your mind catastrophizes, if this doesn't happen then, follow the thread. So what? Then what? Often, you'll find that even your worst-case scenario is survivable and might even lead to unexpected benefits. The energy redistribution. When you notice excessive importance building around one area, consciously redistribute that energy. Engage in activities that have nothing to do with your important issue. Play, create, connect with nature. This prevents all your energy from pooling in one area. The gratitude flood. When importance peaks, flood your mind with gratitude. List everything you can think of that you're grateful for, especially things unrelated to your important issue. This shifts your energetic state from lack to abundance. Let's also address some common misconceptions about reducing importance. Misconception 1. Reducing importance means not caring. Truth. It means caring from a balanced place rather than a desperate one. You can deeply desire something without making it critically important. Misconception 2. Reducing importance is about lowering standards or settling. Truth. It's about pursuing excellence without attachment to perfection. You can maintain high standards while accepting multiple positive outcomes. Misconception 3. Reducing importance means being passive. Truth. It means taking inspired action without forcing. You still act, but from flow rather than fear. Misconception 4. If you reduce importance, you won't achieve as much. Truth. You often achieve more because you're not creating energetic resistance. Success comes more easily when you're not desperately chasing it. Misconception 5. Reducing importance is a one-time fix. Truth. It's an ongoing practice. Importance will arise again and again. The key is recognizing it more quickly and releasing it more easily each time. As we near the end of today's exploration, let's consider the deeper spiritual implications of importance. At its core, importance arises from the illusion of separation. When you believe you're separate from what you desire, that you must struggle to obtain it, that you could lose it forever, that's when importance takes hold. But what if you're not separate from anything? What if you're part of an interconnected web of existence where nothing is ever truly lost, where energy simply transforms from one form to another? From this perspective, importance begins to seem absurd. How can you desperately need something that's already part of you? How can you lose something in an infinite universe of possibilities? This doesn't mean adopting a passive, fatalistic attitude. It means recognizing your connection to all things while still playing your unique role in the cosmic dance. You take action not from desperation, but from joy, not from fear, but from love, not from importance, but from inspiration. Consider how children play. They can be fully engaged in a game, completely absorbed, yet if called to dinner, they can drop it without existential crisis. They play with passion, but without importance. This is the state we're cultivating: full engagement without attachment, sincere caring without desperation. As you practice reducing importance, you might notice interesting shifts. Relationships become easier as people feel less pressure around you. Opportunities flow more readily as you stop pushing them away with neediness. Your body relaxes as you release the chronic tension of importance. Your mind clears as you stop obsessing over outcomes. You might also find that what you thought you wanted changes. When you're not desperately attached to specific outcomes, you can more clearly see what truly resonates with your authentic self versus what you thought you should want. This clarity is a gift of reduced importance. Remember, this is a practice, not perfection. You'll create importance again. It's part of being human. The key is to notice it more quickly, smile at yourself with compassion, and gently release the excess charge. Each time you do this, you strengthen your ability to flow with life rather than fight against it. Let's close with a simple exercise. Think of something in your life that feels heavy with importance, a goal, a relationship, a situation. Take a deep breath and imagine setting it down, just for a moment. Feel the relief as the pressure lifts. Say to yourself, "This matters to me, but it's not everything. I trust that whatever happens, I will be okay." Notice how your energy shifts. This is the power of reducing importance. Now imagine approaching the same situation from this lighter state. How might you act differently? What new possibilities might you see? What inspired actions might arise when you're not clouded by the fog of importance? This is your invitation to experiment with a new way of being. In our next episode, we'll explore the principle of coordinating intention, how to turn negative events into positive outcomes, and maintain harmony with the world around you. We'll see how reducing importance naturally leads to better coordination with the world, creating a positive feedback loop of flow and ease. Until then, remember, the less importance you give, the more easily life flows in your favor. Relax your grip, trust the process, and watch as reality begins to reflect your new, balanced state. Practice the exercises we've discussed. Notice importance arising and gently release it. Celebrate the moments when you catch yourself creating excess potential and choose balance instead. Each small shift creates ripples in your reality, moving you toward a life of greater ease, flow, and authentic fulfillment. The universe is not working against you. It's simply maintaining balance. When you align with this balance by releasing importance, you become a co-creator rather than a struggler, a dancer rather than a fighter. This is the gift of understanding importance in reality transurfing. The power to flow with life rather than against it, creating the reality you desire through harmony rather than force.